were going into the rainforest, think of the diversity, and you wouldn't be able to study every single species, but you could learn the families, and families of plants have certain characteristics. You'd know which ones to avoid, which ones are going to be more toxic, and that knowledge would be essential.
So do you think you'd do well?
If I had enough time to study enough.
Yeah.
Problem is, I'm running out of time to study that much. I mean, it took me years to study the Arctic, and I remember thinking at times when, you know, it'd probably been a real long winter and not much sunlight, like, wow, maybe it'd be cool to go live in a rainforest. But then when I gave it a little deeper thought, I thought, you know, I'll never, it took me 7 years to get up here and figure this all out from the time I decided to do it until I actually started living it. I mean, I can't go survive in the rainforest. I can probably do okay for a short period of time, but then the other thing is, you know, there are always people everywhere you go, pretty much, even in rainforests, even in deserts and different places. If the environment is such that a human can survive there, there are probably humans surviving there, even if they're relatively low density population, like up in the Brooks Range. And you have to integrate into that social milieu. Even in the Brooks Range, I had to spend a lot of time getting to know where people were hunting and trapping, and, you know, getting to know people in the native villages and whatnot, in order to find the spot where I could actually go and not be stepping on people's toes and make a life for myself there. It wasn't easy. I mean, if you got plopped down in the wrong spot in the middle of the Amazon rainforest, you might end up, you know, getting yourself killed by somebody else that really wasn't very friendly to outsiders there.
For sure. All right. So you said you had a story you wanted to bring on. We're about at the hour mark. So okay. Did you want to share that, or was there something else that you wanted to do instead?
Well, I could share a story, but I was also thinking, you know, a lot of people have asked me about changes in my life recently. And because I'm not living in the Brooks Range, I've been visiting my camp occasionally, but the last time I was up there was last fall, and I was only there for a few days last fall. So I've made a lot of changes. I'm getting modern. It's time for me to get more modern, Adam, and for a variety of reasons, but this is where I'm at in life. And I thought maybe I could show people some of these changes. I know a lot of people know that I haven't had a toilet for a long time. The last time I lived in an apartment with a toilet was in 2003. I went 17 years just squatting and pooping outside. And even here on my property in Fairbanks, when I was in town. And last summer, I expanded a little more here. I've been expanding over the years. I bought my neighbor's property when they decided to move, and his house where I am right now. Mm-hmm. And it's very different than what people are used to seeing me living in.
Yeah,
so
can you walk us through it a little bit?
I can show you a few things.
Yeah. And if people are listening, we do have the video of this on YouTube, so we'd love to have you watch along too. So go for it.
So I'm really happy with this new place I got. It's still a small home. It's only 1,000 square feet. But that's 10 times bigger than what I lived in for 8 years of my life in the Brooks Range. And it's 5 times bigger than the cabin that I built here when I started out in Fairbanks. And so let me give you a glance out the window so you can see it's still pretty wintry here. We got a lot of snow. Wow. Yeah.
You got the lifted van too?
Yeah, I got myself a lifted van a couple of years ago, 2019. I picked that up. But I got some exciting stuff here. You know, one way that I was able to live the life that I lived just economically was by not spending a lot of money for years. And I literally didn't buy furniture ever in my life until just a couple of years ago. I had one little,
that runs
I had
in the family, by the way. I don't have very much either.
I had a couple stumps. I remember when Trisha moved here, and my little 200-foot cabin in Fairbanks was what we were first living in. I was sitting on some little stump, and I said, geez, you need a chair. And I went outside she had just gotten here from Boston, and I started up the chainsaw and I cut a piece of firewood into another little stool for her to sit on. And we used to eat on a cardboard box for a table. But, one thing that happens when you start making a little more money than you need to live the way you're living is that you find some things to spend it on. And I started buying things. The first thing I got myself a table. So I got a table. And then I got a modern kitchen now, and I love it because I love eating. I love food. So I upgraded when I bought this place. It's got,
Instapot.
Nothing too fancy, but I got a modern kitchen. I love making yogurt. The Instant Pot is great for that. I still got a wood stove, and mostly what I heated with all winter long was this wood stove right here.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have full modern facilities, and I want to show you some. A lot of people ask me about toilets. I got my little office right here, my standing desk.
Oh, nice.
A lot of people, I need communications now. This is a big thing for me. I got to a stage in life where, hey, I had incredible experiences out in the wilderness, but what good is it if you don't share it? So I'm working on things that are going to allow me hopefully to share some of what I learned with more people. And I need good communications to do that. So I've got, full internet and all this. And I remember on Joe Rogan, I was talking about toilets and people wondering about my toilet situation because I never had one for so many years, but I got myself a toilet. Look at this.
I was going to be gold.
And I love this stuff. I mean, I really love, I appreciate it so much because I got a shower behind there. I appreciate it so much because I went without this for so many years. And it was nice because when I would come to town, it was never a big transition. I had electricity in town, which I didn't have in the bush, but otherwise it was pretty similar. But now, I got my bedroom here, and yeah, it's this room right here, just this bedroom is considerably bigger than my whole cabin was in the Brooks Range.
So
Nice
do you
view too.
sleep by yourself?
Yes, I normally, well, not always, but typically. Trisha's place is right next door. I got a little compound here, so I want to show you. My kids go back and forth. Not sure if you can see it, but there's a cabin right over in that direction through the woods, just about 40 yards door to door. That's
Looks
Trisha's
really
cabin.
nice there, man.
It is pretty nice. I like it here.
I need a Fadiman friend studio up there. Just give me one of the spare spots.
That's what the other cabins are for.
Exactly.
You got a little extra bedroom in there if you need a place to sleep, but I'll give you a whole cabin, Adam.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I got 5 cabins now. A couple of them I built myself, and then other ones I acquired when I bought neighbor's property.
Was it weird going back to using a toilet?
Weird going back to using a toilet. Well, it was. Oh, did I show you? I got little footstools set up so that I don't have to. It's too high.
The squatty potty.
Yeah, it's kind of like what they call a squatty potty. I use the little ones that they have for kids, to reach the floor with their feet, and I feel more comfortable with my feet up higher.
Yeah,
because I squatted for 17 years outside when I was pooping.
My brother Austin is a strong advocate for the squatty potty.